Hey, it's Greg Kihn, and guess what? I got a new book coming out. Now, this is a Beatles novel. It's called Rubber Soul. The Beatles are actually characters in this novel. It's kind of a coming-of-age book. It's also a murder mystery. It's unlike anything I think you've ever read before, especially if you're a Beatles fan like I am. How did this come to be? You know, people come up to me and they say, how did you get the idea for Rubber Soul? Well, that idea sprung up from interviews that I did with the surviving Beatles when I was on the radio at K-Fox Radio in San Jose. I got to interview, for instance, Ringo Starr. And during the interview, I asked Ringo where the Beatles got their records. And he told me it was from Merchant Marines. And that gave me the idea of Dustbin Bob. So I want to play you this Ringo interview. It's from a couple of years back. But you can see the germ of where I got the idea for Rubber Soul.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ringo. Great honor to talk to you. We hardly got any time, so can we just jump right on into it?
Jump right on in. I'm here.
You know, I'm a big Beatles fan and
yeah.
have been from the beginning. And I noticed that, reading the interviews, that some of the other Beatles were a little afraid of you when they first met you. They kind of looked like a Ted, and you were kind of tough, and you had that...
Yeah, they thought I was some sort of gangster.
Yeah, and you had that Zodiac Zephyr.
Yeah, the Zephyr Zodiac. Yes, I had the big car, and
you still have that
about
car?
Town.
Whatever happened to that car?
I've no idea.
Those were very bizarre cars.
Well, they were very big for England. But I was put in my place when I put it up against the 1960 Oldsmobile.
Oh, that thing, yeah, that's 2.5 acres of car, man.
Yeah, they were huge. So
yeah.
In the end, mine felt like a Mini.
Let me tell you my theory that I've developed over the years on why the Beatles hit London so hard in the early days.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, because like in the beginning with Elvis coming out of Memphis, everybody called.
Remember, it is he passed away any minute now.
Yeah, he had that. Yeah, people called him the hillbilly cat, and he had an accent, and suddenly it was cool to be kind of like a hick. Now, when the Beatles went to London, you guys didn't try to disguise your Liverpool accents.
No.
So in a way, you were very exotic to the Londoners, much like.
I think they thought we were hicks.
Well, they thought the same thing about Elvis. See, he went to New York from Memphis. When you went from Liverpool to London, it was almost the same vibe.
Yeah. I think that's all it was about, nothing to do with the music.
Well, it certainly had a lot to do with the everything, the style and everything, man. But, music...
They couldn't believe we just came down and we were just being us. And that also what happened when we got to New York.
Yeah. Well,
because we found out later, when we got to New York, they came out really to knock us down, the press. But because we shouted back at them, they loved us.
Yeah, it was so perfect, man. You couldn't have scripted it
we
better.
Didn't know. I mean, we were just being us.
Where did you guys get those American R&B records that you covered back in the early days? Was there a shop that sold imports?
Well, there was a lot of shops, but also, Liverpool is a port. So a lot of the merchant Navy guys brought them in.
Very interesting.
And so we got them from them.
Now, as a musician, I know that I'm lost without monitors. You come to expect it, but you guys toured for years without monitors.
We didn't know what monitors were.
Yeah, well, I guess they were looking at you for the beat. Who were you looking at to follow the songs if you couldn't hear?
I was looking to God. I was actually following the tapping of somebody's foot, or the nodding of the head. Oh, yeah, he nods when he goes, woo! Oh, we're up to there now.
Was it a big deal for you when you quit Rory Storm and the Hurricanes to join the Beatles? You had to change your hair and shave off your beard. That was kind of a major thing for a young man, wasn't it?
Well, the beard wasn't quite as strong as there is now. But, it was part of the deal that, I'd played with those guys anyway, and they were trying to form this image, so I just said, okay, well, let's get going.
Well, I know before the Beatles, Roy Storm was one of the top groups in Liverpool. And, when you joined up with the Beatles, did you realize, after they'd written a couple songs, man, I hooked up with the right guys here?
Well, I knew that anyway because, the Beatles were the only band in Liverpool I used to go and watch.
I remember John saying something in an interview about Pete Best being a bit thick, but they liked you because you can kind of roll with the punches.
Well, good for him.
Your current group features Sheila E. Now, she's playing a regular trap set, right?
She's playing regular and percussion.
So does it have a kind of a Latin flavor at points?
Only when she's on. I mean, we're not doing Little L from My Friend in a bossa nova style.
That'd be a lot of fun, though, man.
It could be very interesting, but we're not doing it on this tour.
When you guys played at Candlestick Park for your last concert here in San Francisco, did you know ahead of time going in that was going to be your last gig?
Well, the talk had started that, is this the life we want to lead? And, we'd done the stadiums now. Nobody could hear us. As you said, we couldn't hear each other. We felt musically we weren't fulfilling our dream, and our basic needs.
Yeah.
And so it was a good one to go out on.
When you look back, I mean, over your entire career, what was the most fun part, besides what you're doing now, because it's probably a blast for you, what was the most fun part of your career?
I think that, the fun part is when you start and you're in your 20s and,
Well, back at your Butlins days?
You're playing clubs and then suddenly, you move up a notch and you're playing theaters and then, wow, you get a chance to, get your sounds down on a piece of vinyl in those days.
Yeah.
It's just that regular build-up. So when we got, how high can you get? We were doing the stadiums. I mean, I think then you say, well, let's look at this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and
Greg,
also...
we got to go.
Oh.
Okay, Greg, give me that last big question.
Was it the
Mention the show.
The big show coming up.
Thank you.
Ringo Starr and his All-Stars.
Mention the date.
And the date is...
What, you don't even know?
I don't even know.
August 31st.
August 31st.
Hey,
God
Ringo,
bless you, Ringo.
Take one.
Concord.
Hey,
You know
Ringo.
the place? I've played there before. It's a fabulous place, and we can all have a good time.
That's going to be wonderful.
Take one question from a listener real quick on the phone.
What, not another drummer joke?
No, it's not. It's
What
not
is it?
Charlie.
Quick, come on.
It's not Charlie Watts, is it?
Hey, Ringo, how's it going?
Well, it's going good.
Well, there's 5 words I never thought I'd say together.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Hey, looking forward to the show. First of all,
Hey, get to the question,
I'm
caller.
getting to the question, but I wanted to wish Ringo a happy August 16th. This was the date that Pete Best was kicked out of the group back in '62, so big day for Ringo.
Well, I was sort of looking on Elvis's death myself.
Yeah, that kind of changed the meaning of the date, didn't it?
I think it's a little more important.
Hey, I'm a big Ian Hunter fan, and I know he's in your band this time around.
Yeah.
Is he doing more than one number with you of his own tunes, or
He does 3 numbers.
3 numbers?
Yeah, so it's well worth getting in your car and driving out.
Hey, Ringo, what's the secret?
Look, I got to go, guys.
Gotta
I've got
go,
a line up here.
Okay.
Bye.
And I send you lots of love, and I hope to see you all at the Concord.
Thank you. That was.